I'm Young Labour, and look, my arms remain untwisted. There are no Trotskyists behind me whispering, tell them you like Jeremy, tell them you like Jeremy. You may have read recently that Margaret Beckett told the Derby Telegraph that I and people like me have founded a fan club, that we were merely playing politics, that we have no real political heritage at all. Well, in the 1920s, my great-great-grandfather was one of the founding members of the South African Ironmoulders Union, one of the first anti-apartheid unions in the country. He fought for black people's rights. In the 1950s, my great-great-grandfather gave up a contract with Newcastle United and a Cambridge Fellowship to teach in a primary school in Scotland. As headmaster, he proudly hung his cane above his desk and abandoned corporal punishment. He fought for young people's rights. My grandfather was a trade unionist, a shop steward with the BBC, where he worked from the 1960s until his retirement. He fought for employment rights. In the 1970s, my mother was the first female student in her school to do physics and woodwork, and she had to campaign hard for the privilege against much opposition and prejudice. She fought for women's rights. Each generation has fought its battles. Each generation has had to fight long and hard for their set of rights, and on occasion, blood has been shed in pursuit of them. Our struggles for human progress are what define us and our times. Who looks to the 1960s and does not see Martin Luther King Jr.? Who looks to the 1980s and does not see the struggles of workers and women to organise against oppression, poverty and nuclear arms? Now, it is 2016, a new decade, a new era, a new epoch in the evolution of mankind, the information age. And we turn our attention to my generation. What is it that I will fight for? What is the legacy that I will leave behind? Which battles are the battles I will leave for my children to inherit and carry on fighting? In 2016, there are many battles that need fighting. Climate change and overpopulation lurk just around the corner. Bacteria is slowly but surely becoming resistant to antibiotics. War and religious terrorism plague all corners of the earth. Human rights themselves are under threat, not just in the developing and third world, but in supposedly liberal democracies such as our own.
Hear, hear.
In Britain, for example, we are ruled by a leader without a popular mandate, neither from the people at large nor her own party. This leader is insistent on enacting major changes which will affect the United Kingdom for generations to come. This leader is intent on the destruction of our long-held tradition of civil liberties as a liberal and tolerant nation. From the repealing of the Human Rights Act, to the heavy-handed state surveillance and anti-terrorism measures, to the enactment of a system of secret courts where one can be tried in a court they are not allowed to enter, on grounds they are not allowed to know, with evidence they are not allowed to see.
Hear, hear.
And it's all part of the agenda of conformity, isn't it? The politics of the received wisdom. We can't make the world a better place. The people who are different must be dangerous. Austerity is necessary, and poverty is a price worth paying. I ask you, what am I, with the whole of my adult life ahead, to look forward to? Well, for my part, I'd like to quote a socialist and revolutionary thinker, H.G. Wells, from his work, What Are We Fighting For? He writes, I believe in the right of every human being, without distinction of colour, race, sex, or professed belief or opinion, to liberty, life and subsistence, to complete protection from ill treatment, equality of opportunity in the pursuit of happiness, and an equal voice in the government of mankind. For those primary rights, for others and myself, I am prepared to struggle with all my strength and ability whenever I am called upon to do so. Does that say enough? For all young people like me who will live to see the world map transformed by rising oceans, mass migration and energy crises, and who will either build a lasting peace forged out of those crises or will endure long-term suffering and war because of them, I say to you, this is my time, my generation and my future. Liberty, life and subsistence, that is my legacy. Opportunity, justice, democracy, that shall be the legacy of my generation. And that is enough. That has to be enough.